My name is Ethan, and I always thought family vacations were predictable. Sightseeing, museums, pastries, safe, relaxing. But Lisbon was different. From the moment our plane descended, I sensed it, a rhythm in the city that pulsed like it was alive. Shadows stretched oddly over cobblestone streets, alleys twisted into corners I couldn't anticipate. Something in Lisbon demanded attention, and I felt both exhilaration and unease. The first 2 days passed like any tourist itinerary. We visited Geronimo's Monastery and Belém Tower, strolled along the riverfront, and indulged in pastel de nata at cafes my parents gushed over. Chloe, my younger sister, darted between street performers, laughter echoing through the plazas. My parents, immersed in photographing every moment, failed to notice the details I did. Pigeons lingering on balconies, shadows moving against walls as if with purpose, cracks in the tiles forming subtle patterns. By the third day, I abandoned the map. I wanted alleys that weren't on any tourist guide. My parents went into a cafe, Chloe chased a musician, and I wandered alone. That's when I saw it, a wallet partially hidden in shadow, worn leather, soft and scratched with an ID inside. Marco. Some cash, nothing else. I debated what to do, leave it, take it to the cafe, go to the police. Before I could decide, a man appeared at the corner, dark jacket, sharp eyes, scanning the alleys like a hawk. When he saw me holding the wallet, he froze. "Marco?" I asked. "Not exactly," he said, "but you found something important." "That wallet? It's a test. Whoever finds it must prove they're careful." Before I could ask more, he vanished. My pulse raced. A test? Why leave a wallet here? The next day, Lisbon felt alive in a new way. Small gestures, patterns in crowds, shadows stretching unnaturally. It was as if the city itself was guiding me. I noticed more than ever a man adjusting a shop sign repeatedly, pigeons gathering in a pattern I hadn't seen before, children pointing at marks on walls. Everything seemed meaningful. On the 5th day, I wandered alone and found an envelope under a lamppost, my name written neatly across it. Inside, "Good. You didn't take anything for yourself. That's all that mattered. Now, you know how to notice no signature." My heart raced. The city was testing me, and I had passed. Later, near a bakery, I saw him again, the man in the dark jacket. I followed him carefully through twisting alleys and small courtyards. He left another envelope on a chair. Observe, decide, act. I started keeping a journal. Every gesture, note, movement, and observation went in. Slowly, patterns emerged. Alleys, shadows, stray cats, tiles, an interconnected network. One afternoon, I found a hidden cafe, empty except for a barista. The man appeared again, older this time. "Observation alone isn't enough," he said. "Action matters." "You've acted well, Ethan. Now comes the harder part." He handed me a folded paper. "Meet at the old fountain after sunset." I followed instinct, walking quickly but cautiously. At the fountain, he was waiting. "Few have curiosity, patience, and courage. You have all three. That is why you see what others miss." Before I could respond, a child dropped a bundle of papers across the cobblestones. I ran to catch them. The man nodded silently. "Good. You acted." The morning after the fountain encounter, I woke early. Lisbon felt different now. Streets, shadows, even the tiles beneath my feet seemed alive with meaning. I had begun to notice patterns invisible to most, tiny signals in ordinary things that revealed a hidden logic. I decided to explore streets I had overlooked, following instinct rather than a map. Hours passed as I moved deeper into quiet alleys, past unmarked doors, and over cobblestones polished by centuries. That's when I noticed a small wooden door at the end of a narrow alley, worn, nondescript, almost invisible. My instincts screamed at me. This was the next step. I tried the key from the fountain envelope. It turned easily. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit room stacked with notebooks, envelopes, and maps. My path, my observations, everything catalogued. Someone had been watching me the entire time, orchestrating the experience. A note lay on the table. "Observation is nothing without action." "You acted well, Ethan." Now you must understand, footsteps echoed. The man in the dark jacket appeared, closing the door behind him. Most people wander through life, oblivious to the hidden signals guiding them. You notice. You act. That is why you are ready for the final lesson. He handed me another envelope with a map marked by symbols: pigeons, street lamps, tiles, shadows. I realized all my previous observations formed a network, a language the city spoke. I left the room, following the symbols. Pigeons gathered at corners I had passed countless times. Shadows fell perfectly along the lines of the map. Children pointed at marks I had ignored before. Each small clue guided me closer to the city's final lesson. By evening, I arrived at an abandoned plaza near our hotel. Another envelope lay at the center. Your journey through observation, patience, and choice ends here. But the skill you've developed will never end. Lisbon was your teacher. I folded the note carefully. Walking back through the streets, glowing in the fading sunlight, I felt a strange sense of accomplishment. Lisbon hadn't given me a story or a treasure. It had given me perception, awareness, the ability to see signals where most people see only chaos. Back at the hotel, my parents and Chloe chatted about souvenirs and photos, unaware of everything I had experienced. I smiled quietly, feeling the weight of the secret knowledge in my pocket, the wallet, the key, the envelopes. That night, I opened my notebook and traced every line, every sketch, every observation. I remembered every alley, every shadow, every choice. I understood now the city had tested me not to confuse me, but to sharpen my instincts, to teach me patience, perception, and action. On the plane home, I stared down at the shrinking city. Lisbon had transformed my way of seeing the world. I knew that anywhere I went, I could detect subtle signals, patterns, and hidden messages. I was no longer just a tourist wandering the streets. I was someone who could read the hidden language of a city. Back home, the wallet, the notes, and the key sit in a drawer. I've never spent the money. I've never told anyone the full story. But late at night, I sometimes take them out. Trace the folds of paper, the scratches on the wallet, the edge of the key. Remember every alley, every moment. Lisbon changed me. I notice patterns now, hidden stories, unexpected challenges, signals in the ordinary. Somewhere, someone may still be watching, testing, waiting, and I will be ready.